because what you're going to go through today is what will be more like your bar bat mitzvah. So on the day of your bar bat mitzvah, your family has the choice to present you with a tali, okay? And it can be from your mom and dad will decide who in your family presents this to you. And if you'll turn to page 289, please. Okay. And a lot of times it's a grandparent, but it could be an aunt or an uncle, and it can be your parents. And see on the bottom of the page on 289 where it starts Baruch Atah Adonai. Okay? Let's all read that together. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam Asher Kidshanu B'mitzvotav Vitzivanu Lehita Tev Batzitzi. So whatever loved one is giving you your prayer shawl, they'll be over here or at the ark, and they'll give it to you. You'll say that prayer, and then you'll put it over your shoulder, okay? And I'm going to go over there, but you'll be over here, okay? You'll be here, I'll be there, all right? So, and we have, we're going to have a rabbi, which is wonderful, and they're going to be over there near you, probably sitting down, letting you lead most of the service, okay? Then we go to page 290. And I'm going to attempt to give you the background behind some of these prayers. So does anyone know what this prayer is called on 290? So the title is the first two words. Matovu, okay? So this is actually a prayer from the Bible in the Parshat Balak in the Hebrew Bible, in the Torah. This is actually a story in the Bible. There was this man who was hired to curse the Israelites, because people back then believed that if you cursed people, that it had an impact, okay? And that your words could literally cause bad things to happen. So this man was hired to curse the Israelites, Balaam, and he had a donkey, and he was walking up the hill with his donkey, and down below there were supposedly thousands and thousands of Israelites with these beautiful white tents in camping, and the donkey kept stopping because the donkey was more perceptive than the human, and the donkey saw an angel blocking the path. So the donkey kept stopping, and the man kept getting angry and angrier and angrier, and he started actually beating the donkey, and he almost beat the donkey to death. And the donkey then turned around and said to him, "Don't you see, there's an angel up here. We're not supposed to be doing this." And at that point, he had an epiphany, and he looked down below and saw the gorgeous white tents and the Israelites. And it's kind of like, the Grinch who stole Christmas, and the Grinch's heart, opened up, and, the children of, Whoville, okay. So it's like that story. Dr. Seuss was Jewish, I honestly think. And his heart swelled, and he blessed them, okay? So there was no Grinch or whatever. It was just a donkey and this wizard. But that in itself is weird. But so when he got to the top of the hill, he sang or said these words. So let's say them together. Ma tovu ohalecha Yaakov mishkenotecha Yisrael. And then between each one of these is a verse. And one more thing about Matovu. Matovu was used to count, to make sure we had 10 men traditionally, but now just 10 people, because all people count. So 10 people, because you had to have 10 people to have a worship service that included the Kaddish. You can have a worship service without 10 people, but then technically you can't include certain prayers. So I'm not going to sing the whole Matovu, but I thought today we could just sing the chorus together. Matovu ohalecha Yaakov, ohalecha Yaakov, mishkenotecha Yisrael. Matovu ohalecha Yaakov, ohalecha Yaakov, mishkenotecha Yisrael. And that goes on several times. You don't have to lead that at your service, but that's how it starts, okay? Then on 291 is a reading in English. Does everyone see it? Let's read that together. Then I'll explain to you what it is. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe. With divine wisdom you have made our bodies, combining veins, arteries, and vital organs into a finely balanced network. Wondrous maker and sustainer of life, were one of them to fail, how well we are aware, we would lack the strength to stand before you. Blessed are you, Adonai, source of our help and strength. Baruch atah Adonai, rofei chol basar umafli la'asot. This is a prayer that's also in the traditional prayer book, as is Matovu, and it's literally the prayer where we thank God that we get up and our bodies are working. And so it's a morning prayer. Then, and hopefully they are working. And then on 292, we have a prayer about the soul that we've been given, okay? And I always lead this with the congregation. And some of you are familiar with it from coming on Saturdays over the years, but I'm going to teach it to you right now. But it has the word neshama, which means soul in it, and it means, actually the prayer is a reminder that we've all been given a soul, and it was a very pure one when it started out, and we want to try to keep getting back to that pure soul place. So let's say the Hebrew together. Elohai neshama shenatata bi tehorahi. So the word Elohai in this version of it gets repeated twice. Elohai, Elohai. Let's try that again. Elohai, Elohai. Then it goes down steps. Neshama shenatata bi. And then again, going down steps. Tehorahi. And then you, leading the service, kids, you lead the English underneath. So let's all read that together. The soul you have given me, O God, you created it and formed it, breathed it into me, and with me you sustain it. So long as I have breath, therefore, I give thanks to you, my God and God of all ages, source of all being, loving guide of every human spirit. And then you read this little sentence called the Chatima. Baruch atah Adonai, asher biyado, nefesh kol chai, veruach kol basar ish. And I know if you don't exactly know it, and if you're reading the transliteration, that's good. That's also good. But my goal is to get you towards the Hebrew. And then starting on 293 is the recitation of daily miracles. The Nisim B'chol Yom is also in the traditional prayer book, as are all these prayers. They order them differently and change them. One of the prayers that is in the Nisim B'chol Yom in a conservative prayer book, for instance, look at the second one. It says, praise to you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who opens the eyes of the blind. There is a prayer in the conservative prayer book that says, thank you, God, for not making me a woman. Okay? So we took that out. Okay? All right? So now people have interpretations of it where they've gone out of their way to explain to me how it's not pejorative, how it's not offensive. And then after they, explained that to me, I've said to them, well, what if it said, thank you, God, for not making me a black man? Wouldn't that be offensive? Oh, no, that's not the same. Okay, fine. So, this is why we have our own prayer book, because it just doesn't reflect where we are, okay? And by the way, what I just said doesn't mean conservative Jews reflect that either. It's just still part of their prayer book, okay? There's nothing wrong with conservative Judaism. So some of you know this prayer, and some of you don't, but let's follow along as best as we can. So each part is the same. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lasek vivina, lavhin ben yom uvein laila. Then the next one. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, pokeach ivrim. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, matir asurim. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, zokev kefufim. When you guys are in younger grades, we have you do the Hebrew part and then the English, Hebrew, English, Hebrew, English. When you get a little older, if you can, we're having you do it this way. Page 294. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, rokah haaretz al hamayim. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamechin mitzadei gaver. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, malbish arumim. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hanotein layaev koach. All right, now let's go back to the first page. Just want to explain some of these briefly. The first one, who thanks God for the ability to distinguish day from night. What do you think that means? Right? But it's about the ability to distinguish day from night, right? Okay? That talks about your intellect, right? Your ability to say, oh, it's daytime, it's nighttime, okay? So intellect is something you were born with. What you do with it is your choice, but intellect is something you were born with. Okay, now the second one says, who opens the eyes of the blind. Okay? It doesn't actually mean blind people. What do you think it might mean? Because it really doesn't mean, what do you think?
I think it means like who opens the eyes. I don't know actually.
Okay, no, well, you can, all right. So now, it's good you started on it. Anyone else want to take a stab at it? Okay. Well, remember I was talking about that man walking up the hill and that donkey? Okay, and that, what was the donkey able, yes, Hannah?
I think it means to like help the people understand.
Yes, and I would just even say more specifically to literally make people see something in a way that they had never seen before, okay? Like to open their whole mind up to a new perspective. So an enlargement on that, okay? All right, matir asurim, who frees the captive. That's a more straightforward one. That talks about a time where we're enslaved, okay? So we're not slaves anymore, right? But have you guys learned that throughout history, sometimes bad things have fallen upon the Jewish people since Egypt, right? Okay? So we've actually been in very narrow situations, okay? And the other way, in a more modern way, we are prisoners is some of us are very addicted to technology, right? Or, okay? Or some of us feel like if we don't, well, if you get to a point in your life where you can't drive anymore, you might feel very trapped in your home, right? If you can't drive and you live in the suburbs. So there are all sorts of ways we're captive. Zokef kifufim, lifts up the fallen. What might that mean? It's not fallen like falls on the ground. It's like fallen in spirit, yes.
Like kind of like give hope.
Yes, exactly. Hope, because if you have hope, you have something, okay? 294, the top of the page, says, who stretches the earth over the waters. This is literally talking about God and the Genesis story, okay? Where it says there's a separation between day and night, and then and it says in the Torah that God separates the water and the air and the land, and whether it happens scientifically like that or not, it's talking about God as a physical creator. Okay, the next one is who strengthens our steps. What does that mean? Anyone know? Can take a guess? So Aiden talked about getting hope. So let's say you're kind of hopeful, but then you got to do something with that hope, right? Okay? So you're like, well, I hope I do okay in that test. But hope is not enough, right? What do you have to do? Study, prepare, okay? Which is really not the most fun thing to do for most people. Most people really don't enjoy studying, okay? There are people who do. And that's wonderful. But truly, it's unusual. Most people enjoy doing well, but don't enjoy studying, okay? So we ask for God's help to give us motivation, all right? Okay, next one is who clothes the naked, all right? That one's straightforward, okay? Oh, and that's not because nobody wants to see any of us on naked. That's not what that means by straightforward. It means that we have enough to get things so we're warm enough, okay? Okay, now this is who gives strength to the weary. What is this about? What does this mean? Why are we thanking God who gives strength to the weary? Do any of you know anybody who's been going through a terrible time in their life, or whoever has gone through a terrible time in their life? Okay? And they didn't even want to get up out of bed, right? Anyone ever know anyone like that? Okay? They fell down and hurt themselves, and they have to go to tons of physical therapy, and it's really slow getting better. Anyone ever known anyone who went through that? Okay? So sometimes it's really depressing. It's really depressing to not feel well, right? And sometimes you need somebody to be, whether it's God and your own prayers or someone who loves you, to give you strength to keep on fighting. Okay, now we're going to go to 295. We're going to do Hebrew again, and then we'll go back. Top of 295. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hama'avir sheina me'enai utnuma me'afapai. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asani b'tselem Elohim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. If you're a boy, you say ben, and girl, you say bat. She'asani bat horin. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asani Yisrael. All right, we'll just go over this page and then do the last page. The top one, who removes sleep from the eyes, slumber from the eyelids. What do you think that might mean? Hannah.
I have a question.
Okay, I hope I know the answer.
How would this kind of service be for twins?
So they alternate twins.
Oh, so
One, right. I have twins right now doing it. 80 and Chloe Brandel.
So I would get to do half the work.
Well, no, I make sure you make up for it in other ways. So
So you get to do half of this prayer. You
Half
get
of
to do
this
half
prayer.
of another prayer.
right.
I know.
Yeah, I try to make it so everyone is appropriately challenged. So yeah, there'll be but that's a good question. So what does sleep from the eyes, slumber from the eyelids mean? Sleep, thanking God for waking up. Okay, that's what that means. Okay, why are we thanking God for waking up? It means you're alive. Okay, it means you're alive. Okay, you're not dead. Okay. Who made me in the image of God? This is a very significant Jewish idea. Who made me in the image of God? Okay, why is it important to remember that humans, all humans, Jewish or not, were made in the image of God? Appreciate each other. Okay, beautiful. When
Diversity of it, too,
the diversity of it.
right? Like,
Yes.
we are all in the image of God, and God comes all.
Right? We all have red blood, okay? And we appreciate one another. When is it hard to appreciate one another? Yes.
If someone does something bad.
That's right. When we disagree with one another, that's when it's hard to appreciate one another, because usually, of course, that other person's wrong, right? So it's important when you're really at odds with somebody to take a deep breath and say, this person was created in the image of God, And so am I. And I got to find the godlike part in this person. And the more disappointed you are in a person, the harder that is. But we believe that. We've got to try to do that. Okay? So, because it's very easy to see the godlike qualities in each other when we're totally getting along. Like, I like cheesecake. Oh, I like cheesecake. You know, it's like we get it wrong. Okay. Shasani ben or bat chorin, who's made me free. Why is this important to be free? See, you guys have always been free, especially this front row. Okay? You have actually nothing but freedom. Okay? So why is it so great to be free? Yes. Right? Okay. Exactly. So I took a trip to Cuba with our synagogue. I took a mission to Cuba. They had the most extraordinary dance, art, and music, but they were not allowed to go outside of classical music, classical art, classical writing. They could not express themselves as artists in any other way that could be even remotely perceived as political. Okay? And the art was over the top gorgeous, but the artist was suppressed. Okay? But you like to draw? You can draw anything you want. Okay? And there are places in this world where you literally cannot. Okay? You can't sing what you want, say what you want. If you're gay, you can't be gay. There's in Russia and in the Middle East, unfortunately, homosexuals are actively persecuted. So there are really places where you can't be free. So this is really important. Okay, so the last one on this page is who has made me a Jew, She'asani Yisrael. And I wouldn't translate it this way, but because Yisrael doesn't mean Jew. It technically means an Israelite, okay? And the actual meaning of an Israelite, of Yisrael, is one who struggles with God, okay? So that we're supposed to struggle with God because we're not just supposed to accept everything, and we're not just supposed to swallow everything and internalize everything. We're supposed to think about things and see how it fits with us. And that's what being Jewish means, which is why you can question God in Judaism. You can question things. You're allowed. You're not what's considered an apostate, a sinner. You know, you're allowed to question things. God is central to being Jewish, but there are very good Jews who don't believe in God, okay? But they live a Jewish life, and they do good things, great things. Okay, we're going to go to the last page. I took time to go through this because this is a prayer you lead. We rattle off the Hebrew, and I want you to look at the English. Okay, top of the page, 296. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Ozer Yisrael bigvura. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Oter Yisrael b'tifara. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu la'asok b'divrei Torah. All right, top of 296, who girds Israel with strength. What does that mean? Now let's think about Israel as a people, as a Jewish people, and a country. Yes, Teddy.
Maybe who gives us all strength?
To do what? I like that, but to do what? What do we need strength for? Okay? Think about it. Preston?
To be alive?
To be alive? Okay, all right. When is it hard to be alive? Right now in Tinton Falls, it is not, okay? But there are places in the world where it is actually hard to be alive, okay? Where have you heard about it might be hard to be alive? Yes. Ukraine, okay? Yeah? North Korea, okay? All right. Parts of Israel? It's hard, actually. There are people, unfortunately, who don't want us to be here, okay? Also, where there was just this terrible earthquake, right? Very hard to be alive right now in Syria and Turkey for natural reasons. It's the terrible earthquake. So when terrible things happen to us, we need strength to try to be resilient, okay? The next one is Oter Yisrael B'Tifara, who crowns Israel's splendor. Splendor. Does anyone even know what splendor is? Splendor is like a gorgeous, beautiful overlay, okay? Okay? Like a crown, or a beautiful coat, or having nice things, okay? So how is Israel, how are the Jewish people crowned with splendor? Can anyone think of an example? We are. I actually agree. So there's supposed to be some really beautiful things in a sanctuary, like the stained glass windows, the blue covered ark, all the Torah covers. What's on top of all the Torahs? Jewelry, right? The crowns, the pointy thing. Okay, we make it beautiful. Okay, all right. Your mom and dad work really hard for you to have a nice home with nice things. And some of you are constructing your homes. Some of you have been through constructing your homes. Okay, but these are gifts, actually. And the last one, you guys, on 296, who hallows us with mitzvot, which means who gives us commandments. Mitzvot are commandments, commanding us to engage with the words of Torah. I'm going to give you this one. Who hallows us with mitzvot means thank you, God, for giving us rules and commanding us as one of your rules to engage with the words of Torah, which means to really think about the Torah, okay? We say when we pray, I'm going to leave you with this before we go into more prayers. When we pray, we speak to God. When we read the Torah, God is trying to tell us something. We're not always willing to hear it, okay? All right, you guys, thank you for your patience on that. Now turn to page 298. 298 is a paragraph that you will read in English at your bar mitzvah, and this paragraph has basically the laws in which to be a good person. Let's read this together. These are the things that are limitless, of which a person enjoys the fruit of the world, while the principle remains in the world. Here's what you're supposed to do to be a good person. They are honoring one's father and mother, engaging in deeds of compassion, arriving early for study morning and evening, dealing graciously with guests, visiting the sick, providing for the wedding couple, accompanying the dead for burial, and being devoted in prayer. But the study of Torah encompasses them all. Sorry. You'd think that my own children would know that I'm usually in synagogue on Friday and Saturday. Okay, so the bottom line says the study of Torah encompasses them all. I'm going to be honest with you, I don't believe that. I don't think just studying the Torah makes you a good person. I think it gives you the rules and tells you how to be a good person, but it can't make you honor your parents. That's something you have to do, right? It can't make you be a compassionate person. It can't make you be a good student. Being a good student is important because it means you're using the intellect you were given and doing something with it, okay? It means using your gift. Being gracious with guests, this is one of the highest honors, to be gracious to guests. Visiting the sick. Do you know there's some people who can't stand to walk into a hospital?
Really?
They just can't stand it. It's a big part of my job, is walking to a hospital and seeing sick people or seeing people at an operation. And when people are sick and in the hospital, they're very bored and lonely, and they really like a visit. But then there's some people who just can't bring themselves to go to a hospital, and it could really hurt your feelings if somebody you love never came to visit you. So you got to think about that. Providing for the wedding couple, that's setting the couple up so they can have a good life together. Accompanying the dead for burial. This is a very high mitzvah. Why is it a big deal to do things for dead people? Yes, Ariel. Oh, were you going to say about the wedding couple, or were you going to say about accompanying the dead for burial? Why is that a good thing? Why is that important? All right, if you remember it. Teddy?
Maybe because like you respect them.
You respect them, beautiful, and quite frankly, they can never thank you for it, okay? It is a thankless act, okay? Humans like praise. You're not going to, okay? You're showing your respect, pure respect. And you're not going to get anything from it, okay? So it's a high honor, okay?
It's karma, so it's done to you.
Right. Well, whatever it takes, okay?
Preston's grandmother, great-grandmother, actually, my grandmother. My grandmother was a Holocaust survivor that came here and lived in Washington Heights, and she was conservative.
Yeah.
And she was part of the committee from her temple that would go and take care of.
The Hever Kadisha.
Yes, wash the dead.
Yes.
Yes, my grandmother.
That's
And she did it well into her 80s.
That is a beautiful mitzvah. Usually,
My Uma.
yeah, that's something Jews traditionally did. And now at this point, most people, the funeral home does it. But that's a real sign of love. Because not everybody can do that. Not everybody can deal with that. But for those who can, that's a beautiful gift. And everyone doesn't have to deal with that. Just coming to the funeral or Shiva and stuff like that, that's respectful. That's, I would even say, beyond. Well, very much beyond.
We couldn't believe that. We used to joke with her about it.
And what'd she say?
She used to say it's the biggest mitzvah.
It is.
And she used to only be upset by it when it was a younger person.
Okay.
Then she would be really upset.
And as a Holocaust survivor,
Right.
this is a very significant mitzvah, because one of the most terrible things about the Holocaust is that people were deprived a proper burial. So this was her way of,
It's also a way of caring.
She was amazing. She lived to 91 and a half. Yeah.
beautiful. Karen, what were you saying?
I was just saying, it's also a way of caring.
For the family?
For the family, for
Yes.
those who are
Right.
still,
Yes.
who are in mourning, for you to not have to worry about
Yes.
this. This is like one of those great things.
Yeah,
you
they
can
would
do,
stay
right?
with
It's
the
like-
body, it was so funny, we used to worry about her because, there was, one of the ladies was 80 years old and she was driving and picking them all up, because
Oh,
they
to
had
bring the
go.
group there.
To
Right.
bring the group there, Yeah.
There's a movie in that.
Oh my
right
God.
there.
Yeah.
I think so.
And they would stay with the
Right.
the body and.
Tradition. The ladies. Wow. Well, I go up to Washington Heights a lot. I love the area,
Yeah,
Fort
that's
Tryon
where
Park.
My mother is from.
I actually like it a lot. The next prayer you guys are going to lead is 301. So everybody turn to 301. Okay? And we've been learning this prayer in class. So Hannah, you and your brother, you would alternate on this prayer. But in class we learned the whole prayer. So let's learn it. Let's say it together. Baruch she'amar v'haya ha'olam. Baruch hu. Baruch oseh v'reshit. Baruch omer ve'oseh. Baruch gozer u'mekayim. Baruch merahim al haaretz. Baruch merahim al habriot. Baruch meshalem sachar tov lireav. Baruch chai la'ad v'kayam la'netzach. Baruch podeh u'matzil. Baruch shemo. And then underneath you read the paragraph in English at your bar bat mitzvah. So let's read it together. Blessed is the one who spoke, and the world came to be. Blessed is the one. Blessed is the one who continually authors creation. Blessed is the one whose word is deed. Blessed is the one who decrees and fills. Keep going. Who redeems and saves. That reminds me of Bank. With songs of praise, we extol you and proclaim your sovereignty, for you are the source of life in the universe. O one God, life of the universe, praised and glorious ruler, your name is eternal. Blessed are you, Adonai, sovereign who's glorified through praise. Do any of our young people know what a sovereign is? What'd you say? A ruler, a king, a ruler, a leader. God, one of the euphemisms, euphemisms means various ways we refer to something. One of the euphemisms for God is sovereign, okay? Lord, king, ruler of the universe. We have all these euphemisms for God. Like maybe your parents have a bunch of names for you, okay? All in love. Same kind of thing. Okay, after that, we jump to page 313, and everybody please rise. And this is the prayer that you guys will lead, so we'll do it together. Baruch hu et Adonai hamivorach, Baruch Adonai hamivorach leolam vaed. Then we read, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, yotzer or uvarei hoshech, oseh shalom uvarei et hakol. Hameir la'aretz v'ladarim aleha berachamim, uvtuvo mechadesh b'chol yom tamid, ma'aseh v'reishit. Ma rabu ma'asecha Adonai, kulam behochma asita, mal'a ha'aretz kinyanecha. Titbarach Adonai Eloheinu, al shevach ma'aseh yadecha, ve'al ma'orei or she'asita yefa'arucha selah, or hadash al Zion ta'ir, v'nizke kulanu mehera la'oro. Baruch atah Adonai Yotzer Ham-Orot. My goal is that you're all going to read that, okay? Then we're going to go on, okay? And I'll just move along so we can get to other important things you're going to do. We read 317, and we get to 318 with the Shema prayer. Let's sing that together. Shema Yisrael, Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem, Kevod Malachuto, Le'olam Va. And if you're leading the service, you get to say, please be seated. Just want you to know. So we say, please be seated at that point. Okay, I'll write that into your prayer book. Then we do the Ve'ahavta prayer, which kids you're going to lead. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha, Bechol levavecha, ubechol nafshecha, ubechol me'odecha. Ve'hayu advarim ha'ele, asher anochi mitzavecha, hayom al levavecha. V'shinantam levanecha, v'dibarta bam, v'shivtecha b'veitecha, uvlechtecha v'derech, u'shofbecha uvkumecha, u'kshartam leot al yadecha, v'hayu letotafot beineinecha, u'chtavtam al mezuzot beitecha, u'visharecha. We're in the bottom paragraph. Leman tizkeru vasitem et kol mitzvotai, vitem kiddushim le'elohechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem, asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim, lihiyot lachem le'Elohim, Ani Adonai Elohechem. Does anyone remember where we find this prayer? Not only in the prayer book and not only in the Torah, but somewhere else?
Just learned about it last week.
Hoping that something boils to the frontal of your mind.
Maybe.
Yes.
I forgot what it's called.
Starts with an M.
Mezuzah.
Mezuzah. Okay. Right. So that just tells you about the human mind at this age. Okay. Really. Okay. In the mezuzah has this text in it, and it's all about love. Okay. And that's why when you walk through the door, you touch it and you kiss it. Okay. It's a way of showing love. All right. Then I talked last week about the missing paragraph. Page 320 has the missing paragraph. We don't usually sing. Okay. Then we do read 321, but I'm going to move you along to 322. And 322, okay, the Michamocha prayer. Preston, I know you weren't there, but I think everyone else, as Jeff prompted before, everyone else will hopefully remember something about this Michamocha prayer from last week. You get a pass, Preston, okay? Okay, but you should just listen. Anybody remember anything about Michamocha? Teddy.
The little boy went into the
Right.
Dead Sea.
The Red Sea, right? Okay.
And it said, Michamocha,
Ba'elim Adonai, and then what?
Kamo.
Right? And then what happened after that?
Then the sea parted.
And the sea parted. Okay, that's the legend. Nachshon. I'm glad you remembered that. Okay? And then, so this song's in the Torah, and not all the prayers are in the Torah. So this is an old one. Okay? All right? But I want to get you guys to Torah. So after the Michamocha prayer, and I sing that, so I'm just going to say you guys lead all the way up through the Ve'ahavta. Then you sit down. Okay, you're going to sit down right next to the rabbi. Okay, you sit down. Then the rabbi and I lead 323, 324, and 326. Okay? Which is the Avot V'Imahot, the Givurot, and the Kedusha. Okay? So, turn to page 326. Okay? This is the prayer that has the Kadosh, Kadosh, Kadosh in it. This is also this week's Torah portion. Are you cold, Karen?
Freezing.
Okay. Well, you should have told me. Here.
Figured it was to keep us awake.
All of us have like sweaters or jackets.
Here you go. Should work out. Thank you. Sure. You guys feel free to always tell me if you're cold or hot. I can always. This room is below the ground. See how it gets dug in? So like a basement, it stays a constant cool temperature. Okay? So, it's also high ceiling. And the ceiling's not very well insulated to the roof. So this room gets very cold. Okay? So, anyway, you guys, I'm going to tell you more about this later on, but like I said, this prayer, the Kedusha, comes from the Haftarah for this week from the book of Isaiah, all right? And we're going to talk about Torah and Haftarah in a little bit, okay? Then we go to 328, and you guys will read 328, then we sing 329, Yismachu, okay? And then page 332 is a reading that parents do, okay? So for 332, we invite your parents up, and you'll be sitting behind them, and parents, you'll come up, and you go back and forth. One of you does one paragraph, one of you does the other paragraph, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Karen, do you remember doing this?
I was like, I really feel like I don't know, it's all a blur.
It's a blur, okay. See? Oh, that's good. So, No, I mean, that means you were like, in a happy place, I think, yeah. Karen's daughter's bat mitzvah was also kind of miraculous because it was the first one we were allowed to have as many people as you invited. And Kayla had the many less people. But we were able to, thank goodness, have it in the sanctuary, which I do think is important to have in the sanctuary. So,
But I don't remember reading.
you don't remember this either? Okay, that's why, that's
I'm
good.
trying to remember if it would have just been me or if Joel.
No, Joel would have done it with you. Yeah, absolutely. And then the Hebrew sentence underneath we read. Then 334 is Sim Shalom, prayer for peace. Okay? Sim Shalom, Tova Uvracha. Okay? Then we have silent meditation. Okay? Silent meditation. Okay? All right? And then we have our Torah service. And this is very significant because if you're becoming bar mitzvah, you're going to read the Torah. All right? So now, you guys, please turn to page 366. And I'd like actually all the young people to come up on the bima with me. Okay? Leave your prayer book down below. Okay? I meant the 13 and under. Okay? You're all very young. 13 and under. Don't I catch, did I say that wrong? Okay. Okay, 2 people open the ark. Go ahead, open it. All right, each of you take one side. I'll let other people do it, don't worry. Okay? All right, so everybody, come see the button. Come see the button. So Hannah, hit the arrow under the O. This one? Yep, press it in. Okay? All right, now, the 3 who just helped, you had your chance, okay? We're going to let other people go, okay? All right. So Aiden, this is good practice for you. Come here. Okay? All right? Okay. All right, everybody face the congregation. Okay? All right, at this point in the ceremony, Aiden, you stand here. Okay? You guys all come over to me. Okay? All right? You're the mommies and the daddies, and you're the child. Okay? So at your bar bat mitzvah, this is where all the moms and the dads make their speech. And you stand there, okay? You're not usually holding the Torah yet, okay? So, parents, you usually find something wonderful to say about your child, okay?
You guys are amazing.
Way to hold the Torah.
Okay?
There's a battery.
A battery fell down, okay?
You're amazing.
And after you all say nice things about your kid, we give them the Torah, and then they walk around the congregation. So I'm going to lead the way, and you guys are all going to follow Aiden, okay? All right, so there's music going. You walk around like a pretzel. So you go straight to the right, okay? So everybody pay attention. Walk around. Now, people are like touch the Torah and kiss it as you go, okay? If there are people here, you go up here. Okay, so go ahead, in case there's people there. Everybody follow him, okay? Then if there might be people here, come down here. But you following him, not cutting him off. Okay, it's not like a New Jersey drive. Okay, all right. Then you're going up here. How did you get in front of the Torah? Okay, all right. He's leading. Okay? Okay? No, stay behind Aiden. All right, you're really taking direction. Beautiful. Okay, so you go here. Okay? Then you go around here.
Except it just goes.
Okay? Aiden comes back. Okay? All right? Aiden, you hug this side. Okay, so you got everybody here, a chance. Okay? Then Aiden, you're going to go this way.
Everyone's gonna be kissing at you though.
Everyone's going to kiss you. The Torah. Okay? Go here. Okay? Back around. All right, now which side are you going to go towards? Correct. You go towards the opposite side of where you went. Okay? Then you come on up. All right. Now, Preston, you come push the button. You're going to push the button under the seat, Preston.
So this button?
This one.
Okay.
We're not putting it away yet. You got to press that button. Good, good, good. We left it, okay? Now we put the Torah down. Okay. All right. So Ariel, come take these off. Okay. And put them on here. All right, Hannah, come take this and put that on the podium. Okay. And then Teddy, come take this off. All right. Pull this up. Put it on the back of the chair. Like you're hanging your shirt up, sort of. Good. Okay. All right, then we bring this here. So this is all going to happen at your bar mitzvah, in your bar mitzvah. Okay? So today, I'm going to read the Torah, but at your ceremony, you're going to read the Torah. Okay? All right. So, all right, everybody come so you can see it. You come on both sides of me.
Wait, why is it?
Okay? Now, first,
It's a very, very tiny pointy thing.
okay? Okay, so parents, there can be up to 7 aliyot.
And that includes the bar mitzvah.
So the 7th is the child,
Okay.
the 6th are the parents. What?
How many do I have?
Well, you read according to your ability, but you can't have more than 7, and most don't need it. But so 7 is the kid, 6 is the parents, 5 we sort of go down the line, and each time there's an aliyah, your family member or whatever does the Torah blessing before and does the Torah blessing after. So everybody. Kids, you're going to be the honored family member here. So make sure you can see it, okay? And we're going to start with the top blessing. Baruch hu et Adonai habarach. Now I'm the congregation. Baruch Adonai habarach leolam va'ed. You say that now. Baruch Adonai habarach leolam va'ed. And you keep going.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam
Asher bahar banu
mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'Torah.
That happens before every single aliyah, okay? So sorry, I've got to move in here. So I'm the reader today. So here, now this is the 10 Commandments, everybody. All right? It happens to be this week. I will only read part of it. Zachor et Yom HaShabbat lekadsho, sheshet yamim tavod vasita kol melachtecha, v'yom hashvihi. Watch me read it, everybody. Shabbat ladonai Elohecha, lo taseh chol malacha, atah uvincha uvitecha, avdecha v'amatcha uvhemtecha, V'gercha asher bisharecha, ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim v'et haaretz et hayam v'et kol asher bam vayanach bayom hashvihi al kein berach Adonai et yom hashabbat lekadshehu kabed et avicha v'et imecha Leman yarichuhu yamecha al hadama asher Adonai Elohecha noten lach lo tirtzach lo tinaf lo tignov lo tanev reacha et shaker lo tachmod beit reacha lo tachmod eshet reacha vavdoho vamoto v'shor v'chamoro v'chol asher l'reacha. Just want to tell you guys, that's sort of the equivalent probably of 3 aliyot that I just did right now, okay? And then, and that's the same portion you'll read for confirmation as well, okay? For Shavuot. What'd you say, Hannah?
So we only do the third.
You read up to 7, but you and your brother will split it. So one of you will do 3 and one of you will do 4.
He's gonna give you 4. He's gonna give you
So,
And my guess is you're doing 4.
yeah.
Aiden is the...
In a special exception, we're doing 11.
14.
Well, what I would do we'll do, whatever's needed. Okay, everybody, now we do the blessing after. Hannah can make sure she can see. Okay, everybody? Preston, can you see?
No.
All right, Preston, come in more a little, okay? Everybody. Baruch
atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torat emet v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Okay, good job, you guys. So remember, that happens each time, okay? So at this point, you guys, I lift up the Torah, okay? I put the seam in the middle in case, God forbid, it rips. It rips down the middle. I lift it up. You don't have to do that. In fact, kids don't do that, so don't worry. And we roll it back together. What, is it heavy? You saw I lifted it, okay? Aiden, how heavy was it? Not heavy. The bigger ones are heavy, but it's not hard. It's awkward, but it's not hard. Right?
I didn't know which one to hold.
Right. Yeah, it's a little. So another special thing is that boys and girls read Torah, and boys and girls carry the Torah. At a more no, you get the opportunity to do it. In a traditional synagogue, a girl would not be allowed to do that. No, the boy would do everything. The girl would not do anything. Anything. Lead the service, read the Torah, nothing.
I know, but during my mitzvah, who would carry it?
Each of you will get one.
Oh. We're getting two?
Right, well, we have 4, so we haven't, okay? So, okay? I've never had triplets. I've only had twins.
But what if you got like a centuplate? What's a centuplate?
7 or 6 kids at once?
That is so fun.
5? That'd be,
And then you only have like.
A centuplate would just get one.
maybe we would borrow one from another temple then. It's never happened.
Quadruplets.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I can't even imagine giving birth to more than one at a time. So people who have any more than.
Can't have more than one.
Okay, so who didn't get to press the button yet?
I pressed the button.
Okay, Ariel, press the arrow under the O. Okay, hang on.
Where?
Under the O.
What? Oh.
There's an arrow under the O.
Stop, just
Press
hit
it
the
in.
up button.
O for open, C for closed. So press the arrow.
Press
The
the
arrow
arrow
facing
under
up.
the C.
The arrow, yes, that one.
Or the O. That's one. The arrow facing upwards. Press it. There we go.
Ariel, does it make sense now?
Yeah.
Good.
You have to
No,
press
good.
it. But
Good.
you have to use your
Good.
finger and go like that.
She got it. Okay.
didn't know that.
It's okay.
You didn't know how to.
All right.
Maybe you should go with the arrow facing upwards.
Ariel, who was helpful to you as opposed to not helpful to you in that moment?
I was helpful. We did.
Actually, not insulting, helpful.
Yay.
I'm helpful.
Hi, okay. I was going to let you pick somebody to now push the close button.
Maybe we should go with maybe we should now go with the arrow facing up.
Okay, now under the C button. Okay, Teddy, go ahead. Okay, I hope you were helpful.
There's no C
The little
button.
call button.
Yeah, no, Ariel, this is a C,
Above
and this
the
is an
stop.
O.
Oh.
Okay, good. Does that make sense now?
Is there a Sharpie so I didn't know?
It's a Sharpie, right? C and O. I thought it was clear. I wrote it. I thought it was clear.
I thought it was the stop button and it was the O and the stop.
There's no stop button.
Yeah,
C for close. O
There's
for
a
open.
stop button.
All right. All right. Yeah, you guys go sit down. Okay. All right. We're gonna leave it for now. Okay. All right. That's what I get for thinking things are clear.
I know it's Clissold.
I thought it was. So, in fact, yes.
They're just trying to make it more difficult than it needs to be.
Meant to be easy. So after, you guys, after the Torah reading, you read the Haftarah, okay? So if you guys could find a red one of these things, they're somewhere in the temple, okay? Okay, oh my God, it turned right to it.
You're gonna need that back.
Okay? Yeah, you'll need the blue one back is right. Super thin pages.
Actually has 1,707 pages.
710. And after you get to 710, also, if somebody near you, it doesn't have to be every one of you, also open up in the blue prayer book to 372. Ariel.
Oh, why are we opening it up this way?
Is that upside down? I can't even see. Okay, because it's in the Hebrew direction? Or the English? Is yours in the English direction?
Yeah.
Some are in the English direction.
Page?
710, 710,
Yeah. I
710.
was surprised.
Yeah, and they're all in different printings, okay?
How is this 7 pages? I
710
read a book that was
what?
thin. I read a book that was
It's
thinner.
skinny.
No, I read a book that was thicker than this, and it was like 250 pages.
Yeah, it's the gauge of the paper, the thinner the paper, the thinner the book. Okay, so,
Paper feels like parchment.
so it's, oh, you guys, let me get to the doing part, okay? Let me get to the doing part. So now you read the Torah, okay? Is the product of really months of study. And then you get to another part of your months of study, which is the Haftarah on 710. Now, it won't be on 710 for your bar mitzvah or bar mitzvah, but it is today. So before the Haftarah, you chant the Haftarah blessing before, okay? And then you're going to chant your Haftarah, and then after your Haftarah, you chant the Haftarah blessing after, okay? Does that make sense? I mean, I thought C for closed and O for open was obvious. Okay? Okay? So, all right, I don't know. So before the Haftarah in between, and after the Haftarah. That makes sense, right? Like a sandwich. There's bread on each side. If you let yourself eat carbs, okay? All right. Okay. So, for those of you who are near a prayer book, turn on 372. Aiden's learning this now with me specifically. Let's do the Haftarah blessing before.
Oh, that one.
No, in the blue prayer book, Aiden.
Oh.
372. Yeah, so open, yeah. Teddy, and you have one, your Hannah? Okay, good. 372. Hannah, you open up. Hannah, for you and Ariel, open up to 372. Okay? And then we're going to do, this is what I'm trying to teach you on Wednesdays, you guys. All of this
This
stuff.
whole thing isn't even 7 pages.
370. We agree. The pages are fat. Okay?
Let's move on.
I totally agree more. Okay? Everybody find 372 yet? Yeah, there you are, Preston. Hannah, put it between you and Ariel, so she can see it also. Thank you. Okay? All right, let's do the blessing at the top. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar b'nvi'im tovim v'ratza v'divreihem hane'emarim emet Baruch atah Adonai Abocher Batorah Uv'Moshe Avdo Uv'Yisrael Amo Uv'Nvi'ei Ha'emet V'Tzedek. Just put that to the side if you don't close it. Put the book to the side. No, the blue book to the side. And keep the red book in your lap. And look at page 710, where it says Isaiah. Okay? Look at the Hebrew, guys. Put your finger under the first word. I'm going to chant it now. This is going to be like you doing it. Okay? Ariel, finger under the Hebrew. Bishnat Mot, the first word. It's going to start from right to left. There you go. Anyone else need help? Okay? Now, as I sing, you move along. Bishnat Mot HaMelech Uziyahu Ve'era et Adonai Yoshev et Kisei Ram V'Nisa V'Shulav Melim et Hechal Seraphim Omdim Mima'al Lo Sheish Knafayim shesh kinafayim le'echad, bishtayim yichaseh fanav, vishtayim yichaseh raglav, uvishtayim yofeif. That's 2 sentences. We're on sentence number 3. V'kara zeh el zeh ve'amar, Kadosh, Kadosh, Kadosh Adonai Tsevaot, Melochol haaretz kevodo. That's the Kedusha right there. Then there's 4, okay? Then there's 5. Usually people chant between 5 and 8 sentences. Sometimes 10, truthfully, sometimes 40. It's up to your ability, okay? So if you're a twin, one of you is going to chant. One of you is going to do the blessing before, and half the Haftarah or part of half the Haftarah. The other one will do the other part of the half, and then the other twin will do the second blessing. So everybody go back to that blue prayer book on page 372, and you're going to then do the Haftarah blessing after, okay? And this is the one Aiden's learning literally right now. And we've been trying to go over this in class. So make sure you're looking at the blue prayer book now, Hannah. Okay? All right? And everyone sees it? Yeah, you can close the red one and put it to the side. All right? All right. Here, Ariel, turn to 372. Okay? All right? Here we go. And then I want to make sure you know where we are. This is what I'm trying to do with you guys in school also. So Preston, you're on the right page. Teddy, 372. Okay? You're almost there, Ariel. There you are. One more page. Okay? Bottom of 372, it's like 3 paragraphs. Top of that first paragraph. Yep. It says Baruch. Put your finger in. There you go. Everybody? Baruch Ata Adonai. Here, Hannah, try to go to the Hebrew, please. Down. There you go. Everybody. Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam tzur kol haolamim sadik bechol hadorot ha'el haneman ha'omer ve'oseh hamdaber u'kayim shekol devarav emet v'tzedek al haTorah ve'al havodah ve'al hanevim ve'al yom haShabbat hazeh shenatata lanu Adonai Eloheinu likdusha ve'limnucha lechavod ultifaret al hakol Adonai Eloheinu anachnu modim lach umevarchim otach yitbarach shimcha befi kol chai tamid leolam va'ed Baruch Ata Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat. And that is the last Hebrew component of what you would do that day. Okay?
Then you take a deep breath.
Yeah. Now, if you're in class with me on Wednesday, and I'm patiently trying to teach you this week after week, and you're not learning it, then when we start our lessons, you come to me, not learned it. And we have to start from where you're at. Okay? So, if what I'm saying resonates with any of you, okay, then try to be more conscious of actually learning on Wednesday rather than like this, taking it in and, not really absorbing it, okay? But really learning, okay? So, I know this is a lot, and there's a part of it where you understand it, and then there's a part of it where you simply do it. And as a bar mitzvah, you're going to be doing a lot of doing. Leading the prayers, reading the Torah, reading the Haftorah, doing your mitzvah project, writing your speech, leading the service. It's nice if you understand as much as possible of it, okay? Karen is a volunteer at our synagogue who's helping
heard about it last week. So, okay, so, but Karen has a little group of people who all volunteer. And, you wanna talk about that?
I mean, I feel like,
Yeah.
why don't we just finish it after?
Sure.
Because
I just don't wanna not give you the
But
opportunity.
we've heard my spiel.
That's why we start your lessons so far in advance, so to give you plenty of time to learn all of this, okay? To do your mitzvah project, to write your Devar Torah, your speech, it's to internalize